and welcome back to my channel. I am so happy that you're here for part 2 because we have a lot of interesting stuff happening today. Today we're going to see how the painting actually comes to life. There's a lot of minute things that we'll focus on today. I'm going to talk a little bit about how the old masters thought so that you can also relate to that, imbibe that into your work and think like a painter. The reason I keep repeating think like a painter is because when you start using painting, watercolors or acrylics or oil paints, whatever it can be, it's such a different medium, isn't it? It's so different from a pencil. The pencil is more closely related to lines, and painting is more closely related to masses. Okay, this is a very important aspect to focus on. In the last video you saw me covering the whole body as one big mass. Okay, so by mass I mean the entirety of the volume. Let's see this in action. Okay, I know that by words it's a little bit difficult to understand, but we are going to see this in action, and let's get started. All right. So this is where we left off, the last step of our little kitten called Rani. Okay, currently I'm focusing only on the facial features. Of course, because that is our selling factor, that is the point of attraction, that is where the viewer's eye is going to be going first. Okay, and the expression on this cat's face is very, very attractive. It's very strong, it's very powerful, and hence we need to put in most of our energies on that aspect of the painting. Yes, the body is what makes the cat, but obviously focusing on the face is going to give us the most gratification, the most kind of satisfaction. If we get the features right, if we get the energy right, that's what is going to be our focus for some time now. Now I'm going to slowly explain to you what exactly I'm doing. Okay, I have laid down the basic colors of the face, and then I went in, cleared up the lights and added some of the lights back in. Once I had my darkest darks and some of my lights properly placed, I bridged the gap between the two with a sort of middle tone. The name defines itself, that means it's known as a middle tone. This middle tone is so important in connecting forms, in connecting the lights to the darks, in turning the form is what we call in painting. What do I mean by turning the form? It means that anything you paint will have a certain volume to it, even if it's a leaf, which is a flat object. All right. This is something that you must keep in mind when you start a painting. We don't want it to look flat. In many aspects of academic painting, the professors will tell you that, oh, the painting is looking flat and it's looking a little bit off, or something about it is not giving the 3D nature of it. Okay. And when we focus on these three aspects of values, three values to start with, okay, the darkest darks, some kind of light, not the lightest light, but some kind of light that is probably a little bit on the higher range, and the middle tones. If we have these three in place very, very clearly, your object, your subject is going to be looking already like it's making sense, like it's doing what it needs to do. The effect of light and shadow will automatically start to come in place, and you will slowly understand how the form is turning. In some of my videos before, I have explained some exercises that you can do that will really help you to get this sense of form and volume with the use of correct values. all right? So I'm applying some of those really basic exercises that have helped me to understand these concepts very good. And if you want, you can go back to some of my older videos, have a look, and try and understand this better. So now I'm taking my time to develop the face into something that is looking like it is breathing, that it has some sort of life within it. But it's a very slow process, very calculated process. You do not need to rush at this stage. This is where all the work that you have done in the past video and some of this is where it all starts to come together. Okay, also in my last video I said that we need to think like we are sculptors. Okay, what I mean by that is we are not thinking that I'm gonna draw a line and then connect them and then it'll just magically start to make sense, and then I'll just put in a color and then no, it's not. It's much more profound when you really want to achieve a realistic result with your painting. Okay, we think as a whole, we think that this subject that we are working on currently is not an isolated form. The whole body of the cat is connected to the face, to the tongue. The eyes are within a certain anatomical structure. The ears are connected to that anatomical structure. So when we think of the whole image as one big mass, that is when you switch over your thought process from being a drawing to a painting. Okay, that is when you'll make this major big step into the world of thinking like a painter. I hope that makes sense, and let's see how this continues. You see how slowly I'm working, and this is key. Patience is key in thinking like a painter. Actually, patience is key in life. Generally, it's a great thing to have, but it'll really help you if you want to, approach a painting like in this manner. In this aspect, I'm slowly going and adding the lights that are kind of more profound, little bit more brighter, and you can see that it's really starting to come together now. The face is looking quite strong, technically correct, and also really giving us this very good realistic feeling that we're looking for. At the same time, it's quite painterly and has a lot of dynamic to it. It has a lot of energy to it, and I really like that. So with these few last finishing touches, we are done with the face, and I am quite happy with how simple, painterly, and beautiful it's looking. It was quite a straightforward approach that I shared with you today. And now for the end part, I'm going to work on the jewelry a little bit, and that's where I'm going to be sharing a little bit about how the old masters worked. So let's see how that shapes. when you decide to paint with this approach, you have to keep a very open mind that in the beginning it's not going to look really great or perfect. And that's where you really develop your mindset as a patient artist, not just an artist, as a persistent artist, as someone who is really there for the end result and going to invest in the process. If this is something that you are, if it's something that really inspires you, and the way that you really want to develop your pieces in a much more organic and strong manner, keeping in mind how the approaches of the past have shaped these techniques today, then I think you might enjoy this a lot, because I certainly do. I really like the push and pull. I love just playing around for a little bit with the paint, feeling the texture, trying and experimenting with values, with color. So I personally really appreciate this kind of painting a lot. This is what feels the most real, the most comfortable. About the old masters, everyone really wants to paint like Sargent. Everyone. And that's great, because he figured it out over years and years of painting, and he was known to scrape down his paintings because probably they didn't work in the first, second, third or 15th try. And that's what we are trying to achieve. Not that we need to scrape down everything we do, but when we develop this skill of detachment, a certain level of detachment from our works, somehow it helps us to keep a little bit more of an open mind, and then we can use that to explore further what is a possibility of creating it into something that probably was, not the first approach. Yes, the first approach is the most intuitive, and it's never lost. If we think that we put down some colors and then we took them off and then that's a waste, that's not a waste in my opinion, and in the opinions of all the old masters, because that's giving you the basis. It's the first step. The second, third step will not come if you don't take the first one, Once I have my main subject sorted, this is an accessory and ornament, quite literally. So I'm just enjoying a little bit and just making it much more organic and playing around. So just enjoy, and I'll see you at the end. So thank you so much for coming back for part 2. It really means a lot to me, and I love that I can share whatever I know, and I hope it helps you, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.